Yeah, well, welcome back to me, right? From the depths of retirement, right? All right, today we are playing some Robotron 2084. Wonderful game. And let's get started. We'll play. So I'm playing for the 10 pence arcade podcast high score challenge. Just a friendly competition. Because of that competition, I definitely, it really encouraged me to get a working setup for this. So I'm using more of a modified NES controller right now, or SNES controller right now. But at home, I've got a nice dual joystick system. So not playing my best right now, but better than nothing. This brain stage is what always gets me. Still warming up. All right. Let's get warmed up all the way. Hopefully everybody is doing well. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I know you don't care, but all right. Just going through a couple little deals here, checking some things out. All right, I think we're good. Looking good on all fronts. All right, so let's play until I decide to stop playing. It's different when you go from a D-pad controller or when you go from a dual joystick controller to a D-pad controller. There's definitely a little getting used to. The highest score I've gotten here lately, and I've only really been playing this game for about 2 weeks, maybe. Actually, maybe a week and a half, maybe. Not long at all. But the highest score I've gotten, I did on this D-pad. Still gotta get warmed up. Not worried about it. Still getting there. All right. It's a very fast and furious game, so I feel like if you're not getting your head on straight, you are in trouble. I really start topping out around stage 9. When I'm playing well. When I'm playing well. But obviously now is not a good one. I'd say, yeah, I mean, again, I'm probably going to top out probably in the 150,000 range, because I'm not able to fully maximize the brain waves, brain stages, and obviously I'm losing, gosh, a couple thousand points here and there. This brain stage is really where it's at, really. All right. So if you're interested in watching a real champ, I'm not gonna be it, but I can get pretty close to showing you what a chump could do. So this first stage, pretty easy, just a warm-up stage. No real threats, nothing that's gonna kill you. As long as you don't run into a bear or anything like that. Okay. So I lost at least, okay, God. Lost probably 4,000 there. I'm losing humans left and right. We'll get there. Nope. We're getting there. So the real trick, honestly, with this stage is killing. Honestly, I find that just killing all the brains is really what helps you in this stage. You know, you want to focus on killing the little whatchamacallit first. And then the brains. This tank stage is incredibly difficult for me. I really start topping out at 100,000 is a good game. Topping out at 130, 140. Not great by any stretch of the imagination. But again, I've really only been playing the game for about 2 weeks, so I'm getting into it. I mean, truthfully, really falling in love with the game. It's I've been really looking for a game that I can really wrap my head around. And I feel like this is, you know, Donkey Kong's incredibly popular. But this, you know, and I'm really not liking the shoot 'em ups, the vertical scrollers. But I see, you know, this is a very simple concept. Gosh darn it. Very simple concept, but I find pretty easy to grasp. Easy to see where I need to improve in the mechanics. You know, realistically, like I was saying before, once I get to that first tank stage, I'm just not doing well. So that's, you know, right now my goal is to, you know, basically perform as flawlessly as I can up until that first tank stage. And it's really, though, you know, one of the things I like and don't like about this game is, you know, a lot of it can really depend upon kind of the luck of the draw. You know, it depends upon where your humans spawn. You know, because if they spawn too close to the, what are they, Hercules? What do they call those? Sentinels or Herculeses or Hulks? Oh, they think they call them Hulks. Big green Hulks. Yeah, if they spawn too close to that, you're in trouble. Yes, I love some Robotron. Still, you know, like I said, I'm not by any stretch of the imagination good at it, but it's just such a fun game. It's so easy to wrap my head around. Yeah, it's fun. Wow. Yeah. Fun. Really fun. You know, while hey, thanks for tuning in, by the way. I appreciate you. I'm gonna shrink the text on the chat box because it is. I haven't streamed in forever. We'll shrink it just a little bit more. There we go. Before I do some stuff, gonna play a weekend. Your team is gonna. Good. Yes. I mean, you know, I am by far. Hey, how's it going? I'm by far no expert in Robotron, but yes, I call it Robotron. It's not. Yes, it's not. It's not pinball. I gotta play more pinball. I am hot on the trail of this summer. I'm gonna get an Iron Maiden, but in the meantime, playing these games is great because I get to play, stream a little bit, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper. A mint condition Robotron. Hell of a lot cheaper than Iron Maiden, I'll tell you that much. I really want to start streaming more, and I've been really bad about it. Come on, Adam. So I have a really nice setup at home. Obviously, so this is MAME. I have a really nice setup at home. It's a MAME setup, a really nice MAME setup at home. You know, that I specifically created. The best. This is why I love MAME. Number one, you know, the most expensive parts are really, the most expensive parts of playing video games, you know, you can get fairly cheap. And then when you're, you know, when it comes to some of these games that have, you know, more unique control setups, you know, for like 30, 40 bucks, I can build a whole new setup that's like dedicated just to this game, which I love. That was going to be so many points. I wasn't paying attention. I try to leave one of the sentinels, whatever they call them. This is really where I mess up. Yeah, by this point, if I haven't gotten my points, I'm screwed. I haven't gotten to this stage enough to kind of have a technique down. No, yeah, the tanks are, yeah, the tanks will kill me every time because I don't get up there very often. So right now I'm topping out at 130, and if I don't, if I do really well in the brain stage, I can probably, I have slowly over the last 2 weeks just been the problem with Robotron and MAME is the tank spawns. Oh, the tank spawns like insane on here. They look pretty insane. So I'm playing the blue label ROM. I probably should switch over to. I'm gonna read Evan. I'm gonna read your chat in a second. I should probably switch over to another version of the ROMs. I hear the tie-dye ones are really good. Still pretty green on all this, so. Okay, where am I at? Where am I at? Gosh darn it. Yeah, I haven't, I don't know. So blue ROMs, Gotta say one thing about chatting or talking and playing. It's a whole different experience. I'll get there. All right. I'm gonna play a real game here in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna read your chats and play a real game and not be distracted with you. Yeah, all right, cool. Okay. Yeah, man, those tanks. Well, since it's just us here, let me get the let me see if I can get the tie-dye ROMs working, because that actually would be cool. I need to check them out. Robotron tie-dye. I think they do it DIE ROM. Stealing intellectual property from the internet. Don't ask me where I'm getting it, because I'm not gonna tell you. I do, well, okay. So Evan and I will probably have a similar experience with this. I maybe not, I don't know. But I would say I like, I like Pinball Arcade. I like Zen Pinball. I like them. And and Visual Pinball and whatever the 3D, there's a couple different ones. And I mean, in general, it's good if you can piece stuff together. So I pieced a virtual pin together using, I got an old Corvette, Williams Valley Corvette cabinet for free, cabinet and head for free, and I had, I've got like 10,000 pieces of glass laying around, and so I was able to put one together pretty cheap with a really nice computer for like maybe $1,000 bucks. $500 on the computer, a couple $100 on the TV. I have so many bits and pieces laying around. So, in my opinion, if you have a number of the Pinball Arcade games already, specifically the Williams and Bally ones, because they're not available anymore, really. If you have those or whatever, for $1,000, yes. I like it. I had it. I got bored of it really fast. But I also play a lot of pinball, like a lot of real pinball. And so if you're into real pinball, maybe I think it'll satiate you for a while, but you'll probably be like, you know what? I might as well just sell this thing and use the money towards a real pin. So that's a mixed answer for you. I'd say again, if you're into real pinball, maybe If you're kind of into pinball and more into video games, absolutely, it's worth it. But it's, I mean, it's gonna be $1,000 to get a good setup put together. Um, yeah, and so that's, I'm really back and forth about it because I think at the time I had it, I had a space for 4 pins, and it was one of 4 pins. And it was great because, and this was a couple years ago, and since then they've come out with better versions of a lot of the games. So, um, let me think about it for a second. In general, I'd say yes. In general, I'd say it's worth doing. It's worth the money because you're really not going to lose a lot of money. It's worth the money to see if it's right for you. Um, if this is any indication, I I plan on putting a virtual pin setup together to play the Pinball Arcade and the Zen Pinball and some of the other future pinball ones and whatnot. I plan on putting one together, but I'm going to do a scaled down one. So before I had like a 40-inch TV and I had a really nice computer and I think I had a 40-inch TV and then like maybe a 19 or 20-inch TV and I had, all the bells and whistles, right? So I'm planning on putting basically a MAME cab together that is going to play, so like kind of just a cheap $200 computer, cheap computer. I plan on putting one together for like under $500. And then that setup is also going to, play like some, our console games. So I've got at home, I've got my MAME set up and all my pins, my arcade MAME. So I built a dedicated cocktail. It's tight. It's basically a cocktail Miss Pac-Man, but it's if the blue Miss Pac-Man cab was made into a cocktail, basically. It looks like a blue Miss Cocktail cab, but in a cocktail form. So that's my arcade setup at home, and I love it, and my pin setup at home. And I'm going to do a hybrid console virtual pin setup. So I don't know if that's any indication that I'm doing it, but I'm only doing it because I can kind of do a hybrid with some, I want to play some console games. So I'm going to build a control panel just for the pins, with some nudge buttons and all the flipper buttons and whatnot. That was really what kept me in the cab formation, because I really didn't want to play it unless I could stand at the cab. Anyways, that's a very long-winded answer. I would try it out. I would either try it out or I would do a scaled back version. For me, I don't think that it's worth the investment and the space to do a big one. But if you had like a 25-inch widescreen TV, whatever, even a smaller one, even a 19-inch, kind of like a bar top setup. I think that might work. Yeah, they do. They have some like motion sensor or motion sensor things that you can do, and nudging is great. But but it's expensive to get the. I think it's like gyroscope driven or something like that. And then they have the optical plunger, and all those things are a couple $100. For me, I'm gonna put a couple extra buttons. I'm still working on what I'm gonna do, but I'm probably gonna have 2 flipper buttons, and then below the flipper buttons, I'll have a left nudge and a right nudge, and then on where the lockdown bar is, on this, basically it's just gonna be a control panel, but specifically for pinball. Where the lockdown bar is, I'll have a forward nudge, because usually when I nudge up, I might do the forward nudge closer to my hands, where my hands are going to be. So I'll have 2 flipper buttons, a left nudge, right nudge, but those will be a little lower, but I can still grab it with my hand. And then somewhere that I can do a forward nudge, and then just a regular button for the plunger. And then, gosh, what is that going to be? That'd be like 6 or 8 buttons versus all the other, a couple $100 for all that. So I think, basically a bar top virtual pin is what I'm thinking about doing. Probably at the end of summer once I pick up the Iron Maiden, I think I'm going to do that. So, yeah, hopefully that answered your question. I would play one. See if you can find somebody that you like and that would let you play it. And I don't know. I'm just really bad. I'm back and forth about it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. I think it's gonna be fun. All right, where are these tie-dye ROMs? Wave 102 start hack. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. Shot in the corner fix. So that looks like there's two. Tie-dye version 2. Let's try that. It should be good. And maybe I'm getting over my head, but in addition to a virtual pin and console games, I might also make it a jukebox. I could do a lot of these things on my cocktail MAME, but I want to try to keep the cocktail MAME like as like pristine as possible. So we'll see. Okay, so how do I download this? Parent ROM. Okay, there's the tie-dye. So let's try that. All right, let's exit out of this. I appreciate you stopping in. I've just been, I've been out of the loop streaming, and I've been thinking about trying to get back into it. My thinking is that I'm going to try to stream little by little over the summer to gain back my yeah, well, it's good to be missed. Oftentimes you're like, nobody misses. No one gives a shit about me. I could die. Nobody can. Actually, people would care, but all right. And so yeah, my goal is to stream enough that I can get whatever they call it, my partner back. And then I want to hold a kind of a marathon. Hey, the tie-dye works. Okay, good. So I want to hold a marathon this fall, like a 24-hour marathon where I play pinball and arcade and, just all sorts of stuff. And do like a fundraiser for some sort of charity. I think that would be a lot of fun. I've been meaning to. Yeah. It would be nuts, but I honestly there's just something about it that I find intriguing. Whoops. All right. It's like pulling back the curtain, right? And I think by doing 24 hours, you really, especially if you're like, trying to raise money for charity or something, it really allows people to, I think it brings a little bit of attention to whatever cause you're trying to champion. So we'll see. Yeah, so I'm really lucky. So I work in video production, and I have so I'm at work right now, and I'm just, I've got some time to kill. Yeah, and the other thing, so I've got some time to kill, so I'm doing this, but I'm lucky because any mounts that I need, any cameras that I need, anything I need, it's at work, right? Yeah. 24-hour streams are not fun as a streamer. So I mean, like behind me, we just happen to have a C-stand. So the C-stands are these like super heavy duty light stands. I'll pull it up. So these things are super heavy duty. They're meant to hold really big lights or whatever, and like they'll support they'll support maybe 150 pounds before they start failing. Maybe even more depending upon how you have it. But I mean, they're like, you know, solid metal. So anyways, so I'm lucky because anytime I need a mount or anything like that, it's like, oh, I got everything I need here. But yeah, so if you're using like a USB camera, sometimes those are no fun. All right, I'm gonna give this version a try. So, you know, I've been trying to find out what, oh shoot. My controls are backwards. All right, hold on. All right, fire up. All right, so we want to do up, down, left, right. All right. I don't even know what I was talking about. Probably nothing important. Oh yeah, the differences. Do you know the differences between the two ROMs? You know, I know that they've got it's got a better better tracking of your lives. So if you've, you know, I'm not good enough so far to get more than like 4 lives at a time. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to change the settings because this is defaulting to 2. What? No, maybe this is 3 lives. Whoops. Yeah. I'm lucky. I've got a lot of. I like to use, if I get a second, I like to use these lipstick cams. They're like just these tiny little cameras that are connected to man, something's not liking. The lipstick cams I like for my play field. I've been messing around though with using a bigger camera, but we'll see. Ah. Taking a risk letting those guys generate, but oh well. I'm not playing very well on this one. Nope, 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 nope. Whoops. Couldn't how many brains were left. Obviously more than I wanted. Whoops. Oh well. Get used to playing in a certain way. I'll get there. I'll get there. I don't know why. For some, maybe I'm just something. I definitely feel the difference in this ROM. Something feels different. Maybe it's all in my head. Maybe. I hate when the Hulks are standing in the way of whatever the little orby things. Man, what is going on here? I've been thinking about point pressing, where letting the orbs generate a little bit. I'm not sure if you end up getting more points. Woo, that was a narrow escape. Nope. Nope. I gotta say, this version seems harder. I don't know what it is. I could have escaped that. Damn it. Those brains were like really well clumped together. There is nothing better than like scooping up like 10,000. Don't get blind at them. Man, what is it? All right, hold on. No, hold on. All right, we'll do this some more. I just... Oh, I didn't get the spheroid before it changed. So I'm thinking about, because of my persona, I'm thinking about starting a new, starting a new Twitch channel, like just for arcade. You know, do that. That is the worst, where you got a new toy and you're like, you can't spend any time on it. That's the worst. What am I doing? Yeah, I feel like part of it is trying to play with a D-pad. Nope. I should have shot him. That's what's called greed. Well, yeah, and I don't want to split up my... I don't know. Maybe keep one channel, but like have some sort of like specialty tag. I feel like, well, and part of the reason why, when I was playing pinball, it was like super easy to get people to be interested in what I was doing. But once I started playing arcade, they were like, I don't know, you know, arcade is, I don't know, maybe it's because pinball's unique. But it's part of the idea of having a different channel was basically having a show almost. Like I want to, you know, I want to do it in show format, you know, where I, especially for arcade games, where I start out, you know, I prepare a segment and I'm like, all right, so today we're going to be playing Robotron and here's a little bit of history of Robotron and, you know, go through it all. I really like doing tutorials. Adam. Oh my gosh. That's not a Mikey. Yes, I agree. It's, you know, and I find it weird, like part of my love of pins really stems out of arcade culture. It stems out of, you know, memories of going to the arcade and playing pins and like, you know. We'll see. I mean, I definitely, you know, the ultimate idea when I'm done with the tutorial would be obviously, I mean, realistically, I'm making the show to be posted on YouTube, realistically. But I'm trying to do it in a way that can maximize my time. That's part of the reason why I don't stream as much, because you know, just finding the time. And if I'm going to stream, I want to stream on a regular basis so people know when to come hang out, and you know, I can start getting an idea of when I want to do it. Yeah, it should be fun. I've got so many ideas. Too many ideas, not enough time to do them. All right. Let's finish this one off. Yeah. I mean, I've got plenty of ideas. It's just a matter of, you know, what do I want to do? Which one do I want to do? Which one do I think I could actually do is a better question. They're just going to get eaten. Dang it. That could have been big money if I was paying attention. Listen to all those screams. I'm not doing well. All right. Let's get serious. That was not serious. That was not serious right there. Nope. I keep running into things. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, I streamed, I don't know. Streaming is just so much fun. It's just so much fun when you get to hang out with people all over the world, chit chat about games, feel like a dick or an idiot because you're. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. Once I die out of this, I'm gonna do an experiment. Doing a little experiment. So how are we doing on this? 74,000. All right. So I'm switching back over to the blue label just to see if right off the bat, if I'm able to get over 74 on this, then I'll know it was wrong. If not, then I'll know it was me. It just seemed like, okay, well, this is not a good start. Seemed like the humans were getting, the family was getting killed really fast. A little low for a good game, but not terribly. No, I should have blasted my way out. I haven't been able to really successfully do the Mikey trick on... Ah! I counted wrong. I counted wrong, god damn it. Tanks. Okay, well, I'm not doing terribly. I like this ROM better. Let's do the ROMs that I get the most points on, right? Evan, you were wrong. I do not want the tie-dye ROMs. It's too hard. Now, what might be fun, though, is let's try the 2.0, the 2.12 ROM. That might be fun. Wait, where are we going? Right here. ROMs. So the 2.12 ROM allows you to start at level 212, which I guess is some sort of, I don't know, super level, maybe? Is it called 212? Or 201, 201. 201. Boop. All right, so let's exit out of here. Exit out of here. Boot this up, see if it boots up. Okay, good, it does. Okay, factory settings restored. We'll reboot it. I love this game. I'd say, you know, Donkey Kong and this Pac-Man get like a lot of press, and they're good games. Don't get me wrong. But this is a great game. So much fun. Not a lot of time. So interesting. So you just start. You start here. I don't know if I like that. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I definitely have it. I have it on my setup. All right, I gotta get used to this. I don't know. This is okay. And delete. Maybe not delete. That's just gonna get old really fast. I will. I've played it. I've played it a little bit, and I'm gonna take your advice and recommendation. I'm gonna try it a little bit, or try it some more. I hear good things. I like with eyes. From the little I know about it, I like kind of the mechanic. That it's a Pac-Man-esque layout maze game, but you can shoot and stuff. So I will play it. I will play it for you. There we go. All right. Let's go for. I feel like if I can consistently get 100,000. That's like a good goal for me. I feel like, what am I gonna get? I'll probably get 10,000 on this level because one of the stupid humans died. Silly human. Oh, I hate when I do that when I'm not looking. I hate when I do that. That was a bunch of really... bunch of really silly mistakes. Sometimes I like, you know, this is whether it's in pinball or arcade games, I like starting like really low down. It's like, okay, so here I am, wave 5, you know, fairly far away from an extra life, you know, relatively far away anyways. You know what? I did it again. You know, I know the Mikey trick on the brain level, but I've never really been able to consistently accomplish anything with, or, you know, be able to protect Mikey. All right. So on the brain level, if you protect Mikey, now again, this is just like the Hulks, so you can't, you know, guarantee that they're not going to just accidentally run into it. But on the brain level, all the brains initially only want to get Mikey. And Mikey is the, Mikey's the little red guy right here. What? So yeah, so basically if you can basically follow Mikey around and protect him, the brains will more consistently not turn the humans into progs. The problem I always find is like by the time I get into the level, I'm like looking for Mikey, and then I try to get over there, and then this kind of stuff happens where it's like, okay, well this is me just wasting my time at this point. The other thing I've found through playing is that the brain level is like where you gotta shine, because it's you know, one of the best points opportunities, because there's so many family members there. You know, it's a good, well, and realistically, you know, points or whatever, right? But it's your best opportunity to build up a ton of extra lives, or at least get close. Yes. What am I doing? Not playing well is basically what I'm doing. Yeah. So Donkey Kong elevator level? What's the elevator level trick? See, this is one reason why, I mean, obviously, I love pinball. This is one of the things I like about pinball, or like about arcade games over pinball, is that because of these little like tricks, like bugs, you know, emerge where it's like, okay, if you know this, I mean, there's programming bugs and things like that in pinball, but it's so random and compared to the way that you can replicate results in a arcade game. Okay, I'm gonna read. Man, see, yeah. This is where I know I'm not doing really well. There are strategies, but it's just absolute thing to take a person next. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. You know, it's you know, I've watched a couple tutorials on Robotron, and like you said, it's like, okay, boys, you know, boys from the men, women from the girls from the women. If you can master the Mikey technique, you know, that's the thing that takes you from, you know, maybe like a, you know, right now 100,000 player to, you know, 500,000. Because again, that's just where you get so many. Those guys are tricky. All right. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. I should have saw that coming. So my technique now, because I can't consistently get I gotta kill these brains. All right, so I try my technique now, because I just can't do the Mikey thing. I just kill all the brains and then focus on getting the family. Now, what's interesting about the Sentinels is they can move faster. They can move faster on the diagonal than the left and right. So if you're trying to escape a Sentinel, you want to move more left, or sorry, you know, vertically, horizontally, versus diagonally. Okay, we're getting there. My goal today is to break 130. That's my goal. I'm not a good player, but I'm getting better. You know, it was not uncommon, you know, just a couple days ago, that I was topping out at 50,000. So it's like, all right, I feel my flail technique is serving me well to get start to get close to, you know, consistently 75, 100,000. Not when I'm playing like this, though. I like to take little lessons out of it, where if I'm, you know, here I am, 16,000, no lives. I find that it makes you play a little more conservatively. Not very conservatively, but This is just such a good game. So right now I don't own any original cabs. You know, I'm playing all my arcade games in MAME. But I will say that Robotron is absolutely a game that I would get. It would be a cab I would pick up. Not a good start. Not a good start. Nope, 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 nope. The thing I like about the brain level is because there are no hulks, you can, if you can post up on an edge, you just run all the way up and down and just hopefully take out as many, man. Yeah, that's bad. I should have been getting 13,000 out of that level 2. And then I should be getting 25, 30 out of level 3. And I'm not. Not. That guy's gonna die. This is what I was talking about with, you know, obviously a little more formal tutorial, but I find that because I'm not like a great, especially arcade player, if I can provide some knowledge, it makes me more, it makes people more interested in watching me. And for that matter, pinball too. I mean, I'm not a great pinball player. I'd say I'm a better pinball player than I am There we go. Nope. So in the tutorial I was watching, they were saying, you know, basically you, on a lot of these levels, you want to take a second, which I'm not doing, and plan your escape, figure out how you want to get out. No! Oh well. And that particularly plays really well in the brain level, because if I can get out to one of these edges, I can, in theory, well, you know, I spend my day doing, you know, a lot of different tutorial, you know, if I'm not doing an entertainment project, you know, TV show, something like that, movie or short film or movie, yeah, whatever. I'm doing training films, so I'm really good at training. And I'm also super obsessed, so I used to do this pinball podcast called the Boom Go Pinball Podcast, if you're not familiar with it. And the tagline for it was the secret and obsessed with pinball podcast. So secret because I just didn't, I went out of my way to not promote the podcast. And so, yeah, I mean, the thing, if I get into something, I just get obsessed, you know, as we all do, right? I will very specifically search out, like, I'll watch every tutorial there is, even the, you know, the ones that aren't super high quality or super informative. You know, get to know a little bit of the history and whatnot. So, and then try to, you know, and then just play the crap out of it and try to dissect it. All right, so let's see how long we've been streaming. We'll probably play 20 more games, 20 more credits. Let's see how long we've been streaming. Well, and by the way, I appreciate the compliment. I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun, you know, learning and talking and sharing my knowledge and whatnot. All right, so we've been streaming just over an hour. Yeah, let's play 20 credits. Let's see where we can get. Let's see if I can break 130, and we'll kind of go from there. What am I looking for? If anybody is watching and you haven't already subscribed or I guess followed, you can't subscribe with me right now, which is why I'm trying to get my status back up. But if you're not already following, hit that follow button. Thanks. All right, 131,000. Here we come. That's the goal. So there's a really cool video. I can't remember the series. It's, you know, a series out of Seattle, maybe. But it's like a video game makers conference in Seattle or something like that. And Eugene Jarvis, I think, did a lecture on the development of Robotron, and he went into, you know, just a lot of the details of what he did, like, you know, again, you know, the hardware he was using, why he did what he did, what the background was. They were obviously very inspired by the George Orwell book, 1984. And initially the game was just about rounding up the robots. But they found that wasn't as much fun as like shooting the robots. They wanted to do more of a pacifist kind of thing, you know. So it was like, all right, you know, here you are, you're collecting robots. Like, do we think we can make a really good game without like killing things, right? It did not last very long. I'm trying to remember some other factoids about, you know, right around this time, obviously, so the theme was inspired by 1984, but I'd say that obviously the gameplay is, yeah, I know, it's just not going to happen. Like, okay, yeah, exactly, it's not going to happen. The gameplay was obviously inspired by Berserk. And one of the things Eugene Jarvis, I think, didn't like about Berserk was that you basically could only fire in the direction you were walking. So if you're walking this way, that way, blah, blah. And the other thing was, I guess he broke his arm, and somehow that influenced how he did the setup, the control panel setup with the dual joystick. And I mean, just like, you know, I love games that are very, you know, they're not your typical 3 buttons and a joystick, because they often, they often will try to utilize, different, gameplay strategy, and they're really, they're making the most of it. And so, yeah, so, obviously Williams wanted to make a better version of Berserk, and they wanted to make something that was futuristic with robots, and they wanted something that's different. There you go. Robotron, 2084. Fresh off a Defender, I believe. They were... when they were making this. See, that's the bummer. That's the bummer when you hear, right off the bat, you hear the humans screaming for their lives. Cost you 3,000 points right there. There's another 3. Ah, Adam. See, I should have. By this point, this is not a good game. By this point, I should already be over 25,000. Look, listen to those screams. Is it even worth it? Yes, of course it's worth it. We have to save the human race. Nope. Oh my gosh, Defender. See, I honestly, I think that's why I'm playing this game, because Defender, like, kicks my butt. Kicks it so hard. All right. So what I want to do is I want to kill that brain quick as I can. Oh! Tip number 40,000. If you're using that technique, try to get rid of all the barriers, because then that was 10,000 points I could have had, and I lost it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Defender. Oof. For me, at this stage, those like that 10,000 points, can be crucial. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. You do if you let the I don't even know what those are called. If you let those guys when I die here, I'm gonna find out what those guys are called. But if you let them spawn and then kill some of them off, you definitely get more points. And I couldn't tell you exactly how many, but you get more points for letting them spawn and then die out. Okay, so that was a mistake. Getting Mikey right there. That would have been the perfect opportunity for me to keep Mikey around. All right, so let's find out what those Orby things and the... I like having the proper names of everything. This is all part of my OCD, right? So you got Mom, Dad, and Mikey. Mikey's in the red, Mom and Dad. Pretty easy. Mom's in the pink, Dad's in the suit, the blue suit. Let this load here. Inspired by his never-ending quest for progress in 2084, man perfects the Robotrons, a robot species so advanced that man is inferior to his own creation. Guided by their infallible logic, the Robotrons conclude the human race is inefficient, their last hope of mankind. Due to a genetic engineering error, you possess superhuman powers. Your mission is to stop the Robotrons and save the last human family. Mommy. Daddy. Mikey. Get 'em, get 'em, get 'em. The force of ground roving with networks of grunts. Grunts, those are called grunts. Seek to destroy you. All right. The Hulks seek to eliminate the last human. And they're invincible. They kill bane of my existence. The spheroids and quarks. The program to manufacture quarks. Maybe enforcers? Are they enforcers? Sure. I missed it. I was reading. Quarks? I think the quarks are spheroids and then maybe enforcers. I don't know. Whatever. We'll call them enforcers. They do look like they remind me of like a recognizer. In a way, I guess. There goes 3,000 points. I like clearing out the electroids, even though, again, they do help you kill some of the different enemies, but I find that more often, if I'm not paying attention, they'll just kill me. Ah. Okay, we got brains down there, brains up here. Boop. Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. I need all the lives I can get in this round. Another interesting thing, okay, I'm not gonna be able to demonstrate it here, but another interesting thing is the enforcers, if you're not shooting at them, their accuracy in shooting you dies down significantly. So if I'm ever in a position where I've got a couple humans I want to rescue, I'll stop shooting and just try to run from them. Gotta pay attention. See? That's what I'm talking about. Running into the walls. Missed out. This is when I know I'm not doing really well, when I've got, you know, maybe one life left. Yeah, see? It was like, oh, you killed everything and then died. So we'll just bring you back to this level. Okay. If anybody knows Robotron well, and for some reason I'm not articulating myself well, you feel free to correct me. I'm not beyond. I mean, most of my knowledge is based off of stuff I learn, watching other people's videos, personal experience. Nope. I love it because it's so hectic. Is it even worth it? Yes, of course it is. No! That's what happens when you don't take a second, clear a space, clear a little, little gap in the wall. Find your bearings. Figure out how you're going to get out of here. Move too fast. Again. Okay. I find that I do... If I can get on a roll, I can do a lot better, but... Man, I'm not doing well on this. It's when I die, and then I'm just like starting to run, and obviously everybody's spawning in a different place. That's when I mess up. $3,000 down the drain. Should have seen that coming. All right. Oh, there's two of you. Don't move around, Adam. Man, I'm hitting a wall. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? I saw that coming. You gotta, again, my technique now, say one grunt. Should have taken the time. All right. Man, that was like destroying them. Wave 5 and 30,000 points. No thank you. No thank you. Oh, I should have kept going. Greed. Oh, greed. Oh, 2 lives, all for greed. Man, this would have been a good game. This would have been a good contender if I hadn't been so greedy. All right, 132, getting there. I know. Let's do this. Yeah, like, think about that. I could have had 2 extra lives, gotten a little bit further if I had not gotten greedy, but I did. I did get greedy. However, I did reach my goal, so I've got 9 credits just to, you know, play around with. That's one way that I find, pretty much the only way that I find I will stop playing a game. You know, not gonna that, oh, just one more game. Man, that was a really bad round. I put a certain amount of credits on the game, and then when it's done, sometimes I'll add 1 or 2, you know, but one thing about the D-pad I'm finding is that I'm more prone to running into the electrodes. Ah! There was like, gosh, there was like 50,000 points right there. Yeah. Oh well. How many credits we got left? 5. Let's see. I want to make a plan. I want to see how I want to play this next game. 7. Oh, even better. This is like just a wonderful combination of strategy and trying to be aware, and you know, twitch shooting, you know, reaction, you know. Oh, there was a couple thousand right there. A little bit of greed there, a little bit of greed. Okay, see if we can pull this off. Nope. Get rid of all the barriers. Man, greed. That cost me 4,000 points and a life. If you are watching and you haven't already hit that follow button, I appreciate it. It's a good thing I'm almost done, because this is getting silly. Oh, that hurt so bad. So close to another life. But you know what? I'm feeling good. Like, you know, if I can get 80, 90,000, It's a good game for me. Not a good game, but it's a good game for me. This is why collecting the family is just so valuable. I find that I do that a lot. I do that a lot. Don't think about, you know, where you're going. You know, run right into it. Guns a-blazing. I didn't say way out of that one. That would have been good. That would have been a solid game had I been able to collect all those. Right in the head. Right in the old head-a-rooney. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I pulled that one off. I do not know how I pulled that one off. All right. Let's see. Hi, hello, everybody. We got a bunch of people watching. Nobody chatting. Say hello. If you're not following, hit that follow button. I appreciate it. So we've got 2 credits left. Let's increase that to 5 because I like you guys. Well, of course you're watching. I know you're watching. By the way, man, you've been watching since the beginning. Thank you. I appreciate that. This always happens like right as about to end the stream. That's when everybody starts watching. And that was a lot of screams. How many seconds? Oh! Every time. Every time. Actually, not every time. Not every time. Just lots of the times. Well, that was silly. That's why I like to get rid of the brain. Well, there's 2 reasons, obviously, to get rid of the brains, but the biggest one being those stupid bullety things. Greed. Greed. Who's bad? All right. Coming to the finish line. So at this stage in the game, it's definitely worth killing the spheroids long before they can, and not really making many points, but. Oh, what was I doing? I gotta have a much better brain round. Much better. We're right on our credits. It's getting in the groove, but it's I think more so it's being a little more aware of what round I'm on, and no, you don't. Being aware, Adam. Being aware is important. Look at that swarm. That was cool. 25,000 on the brain level. Okay. 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 Don't run into... Oh my gosh. Where are the brains? Where are the brains? Okay. Getting rid of all the barriers. He got me. Better. Still not great. Who's bad? Whoops. Wow. That was insane. That was an insane amount of... Oh, that was so stupid. That was actually a really good game for me. So we're gonna call that rad. Yeah, I had like 5 extra lives. I was like, okay, this is it. This is the point where I like break through, right? Well, that was the last credit. Yeah, that was a good run. So in spirit of pinball, since that was such a good run, I just had a replay. Whoop! All right, and that'll be the last one. That's the one thing, you know, and I'm playing video games in my, on MAME and whatnot. That's one thing that I guess I miss about video games is that they don't, they tend to give you extra lives rather than replays, which I get. And honestly, in a video game, I probably would much rather have an extra life than a replay. Is there another? Yeah. Nope. I want to be greedy. Sure, I'll be greedy. That was like a death. Well, that was fun. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll try to play more often. Probably not going to have a lot of time this weekend, but maybe maybe Monday we'll do this again, and have yourself a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And yeah, talk to you later. Thanks for hanging out.